Hearing, sight, taste, smell and touch are the 5 sense organs upon which we are basically dependent. They are easily taken for granted in the course of normal living, but have you ever seriously considered what it would be like to suffer a permanent disability like deafness? No more bird song or sound of leaves in the trees, no more sound of running water. The social implications are even worse. Mishearing, making embarrassing wrong replies to questions, and general confusion can all make you nervous, isolated, and downright miserable.
It's a common feature these days, that we are living in a noisy world, and in many cases we're not really aware of how much noise we are living with, not only inside industry but outside as well. It's a situation that gives an awful lot of concern to employers and the medical profession alike, because it's not generally known how insidious noise is.
Industrial noise used to be regarded as something you had to put up with as part of the job, until in 1972 the hazard of deafness was recognised by an official government publication. This set out a noise exposure limit of 90 dBA over an 8-hour working day. The only way to be absolutely sure about a noise hazard is by taking noise measurements, but if you have to raise your voice for a normal conversation at work, then you can bet there is a problem. No one in their right mind would risk getting blinded by the flash of ultraviolet light. They wear the safety visor provided, and just the same consideration should be given to your hearing, because you will never get used to deafness. Deep inside the ear is a system of intricate passages containing thousands of tiny nerve cells. Repeated exposure to loud noise will steadily kill off these delicate cells, causing permanent hearing damage. The experience is simulated in this nursery rhyme.
Like a diamond in the sky.
Some people are more susceptible to noise than are others. The amount of hearing loss can be measured by audiometric examination. This determines the sensitivity of hearing at various frequencies. As we know only too well, some people are very reluctant to wear hearing protectors. This behaviour is not just irresponsible. The law courts take it to be evidence that a person does not really care about protecting his hearing, and therefore has a reduced claim against the company for any damage caused. Every decibel of noise reduction counts. New recruits are most vulnerable to hearing loss in the first few months of employment, and the older you are, the more important it is to protect what little hearing you have left. Therefore, I have asked a number of people what they think can be done to encourage the wearing of hearing protectors.
Myself, I prefer the plastic cable because we work on welding. If you wear earbuds, you tend to perspire a lot around the ears, I think it's really essential for the young people that should wear these things. I mean, I'm slightly deaf through working in this industry for quite a number of years, and it's very embarrassing when you're out in conversation, watching television, it has to be put up, things like this. I don't think it's essential.
There was a sort of general tightening up of wearing safety equipment, and I started wearing them then, and I felt that it was, it made so much difference. You get some occasional headaches or something for the noise, and I just stopped getting this sort of thing. when you realise the difference, then you carry on wearing them.
Yeah. You don't notice it after a while, and it becomes a habit to wear them.
Yeah, you just put them on and you don't notice it. Yeah. It feels a bit awkward when you first start wearing them, because you're not used to wearing them. But if you sort of keep on with them, you just don't notice it after a while. You put them on, you come in the morning, and that's it. You don't notice them.
Did you have to go through a period of adapting to your earmuffs?
Yeah, about 2 hours. You just don't know they're like that on your head after about 2 hours. Oh, they're a bit tight to start with, but once you get used to them, you don't know they're there. You can wear them all day long.
So what advice would you have to anybody who's coming into the industry?
Wear all the protection you can get, really. I mean, it's a much now, it's later on when you've sort of been in here a few years and your ears have took a real old hammer and you'll be glad of those earmuffs.
In recent years, more and more attention has been paid to noise-induced deafness, and what one can do about it is obviously to start controlling it at source. But with foundry type machinery, much of which is some years of age, there's very little that one can do, in fact, to make it quieter as an operation or as a machine, etc. And in those particular cases, apart from the expense of that, in those particular cases, then the only thing we can do is to protect the employee by issuing approved hearing protection. There have been cases, not necessarily on hearing protection, but certainly on eye protection and head protection, where factory inspectors have finished up by prosecuting employees to the tune of up to £200 fine for not complying with 1, the company's safety rules, and 2, the Health and Safety at Work Act.
About that point of communication.
Well, this is one problem with them. If something's falling off and rolling straight for you and somebody shouts, the chances are you won't hear it. I think that's some of the reasons why perhaps some people don't wear them. So especially if they're working near the crane, if somebody shouts, you simply won't hear it.
But you still choose to wear them despite these disadvantages?
Oh yeah, it's better than going deaf. I think so. Yeah.
What was it that got you to wear them?
Well, I saw somebody else wearing them, and we used to wear the cotton wool earplugs, and decided to give these a try, and well, they're a lot better. Once you get used to them, you don't know you're wearing them, really. You have a job to work in here without them once you got used to them. Keep your ears on.
What first made you start wearing them?
Because of the excessive noise, that's all. It's very noisy in there, and I can't work without them myself.
I mean, using these as I'm using them now, when I'm pedaling with my hammer, you see, I get this dull, I get the dull sound instead of getting the sharp sound that you get without wearing these, on steel. That deadens the noise quite a bit. But as I say, the only thing that's wrong with these is you sweat round the ears when that's hot if you wear them too long, you see. And say, been here quite some time, you see, between when I started here and the government legislation that has just come in over noise, I've lost a certain amount of my deafness, you see. So I thought that would be best on what little hearing I have got now to protect it till the time that I retire from here, you see.
There's a lot being said about hearing protection, but if I could just take it from the beginning, when we have an induction training, we introduce them to the various types of hearing protection that are available within this company, both from the earmuff and also the EAR plugs, which I have some here. I always carry mine with me. We show them how to fit the earmuff and also how to install the earplugs within the ear. They also are shown a diagram of the ear, and we explain the dangers that could arise from not wearing ear protection. We found that we've been going for hearing protection for some considerable time, but for the last 2.5 to 3 years we've gone over to what we call the EAR plug. This has been highly successful within our plant. They will wear these because they find that they are hygienic. They do certainly cut down the level of noise, and they are disposable. They can draw them at any time from any of the foreman's offices, and this is a method with which we use.
We first had the ear defenders when the CT6 was installed in the foundry, and that created quite a lot of noise, plus the knockout on the same location. Ear defenders were an optional at that time, in fact they are optional now in most cases. But having been involved with people in the Fatland shop for some number of years and seen the elder men go deaf, it's such a slow process that you don't realise until it's too late.
Several of the men have told us about their colleagues going gradually deaf. Now have a listen to this deafness simulation tape which illustrates how a young lad comes to work in a fettling shop in a continuous noise level of 96 dBA and gradually he goes deaf. He begins work at age 18 with normal hearing.
I don't care. It's the principle of the thing. Well, there are thousands of people who don't. And there are thousands of people who do.
You will have noticed how the tape recording is at peak level, but just watch how it decays as we go through each of the following stages. The next simulation is after only 2 years of noise exposure.
What is it I haven't done? You haven't been mentioned on the New Year's honours list. That's it. It was the same last year and the year before that.
Then, at age 45.
Right, thank you, William. I'm very brought down. I think it's disgusting. I should have been overlooked again.
Finally, at retirement.
Therefore, I put them on the step every morning. And what about all the salvage I've given them? You didn't give it. They came and took the furniture away.
If you think deafness is bad, then just imagine having the additional problem of ringing noises in the ears. Some workers suffer from this phenomenon, which is known as noise-induced tinnitus. From descriptions they've given, we've put together another set of simulations. The simulations are in every case reproduced with the aid of a musical synthesizer. We have heard several powerful arguments for and against the wearing of hearing protection, but ultimately the choice is yours. Wear ear protectors now, or risk deafness in later life.
Look at these devices here, one to bend and see.